So, Scotty, welcome
Hey,
back.
coach.
Well, hey, welcome back to Face. You want to
Congratulations.
take? Do you want the screen?
You know what? I don't know if I can make this work. I've been trying. I can't find any place. Let me see. Oh, here it is, the share. Let's see if this works.
Oh, I have to stop. So if you're going to try, I stop. All right, now try it. Jobless claims in line. Durable goods are strong. Thank you, Mike.
Durable goods. That's key here for the day.
Okay, so we getting a lift in the dollar on that. I'm waiting
Dale,
for.
I've
I'm
I've
waiting for you.
I was
Uh,
following. Can you
a
hear
little
me?
bit. Yeah, I could hear you fine.
Okay, good. I originally was doing the dollar, but I've kind of been more into Bitcoin lately, only because I don't know, it seems easier to follow its movements and whatever. So
Yeah, it seemed like it was much more not as affected by the tariff talk. Here comes your screen.
there we go.
Okay.
Okay. Um, let me just get rambling here and then we'll go. But anyways, I
Okay.
wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. When are you retiring?
When I slump over my keyboard.
I do that
Huh?
in the afternoon all the time.
Isn't that your plan? It could happen any day.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it was something that was scheduled or
Oh no, I was just kidding.
okay.
Just,
Um,
just trying to get a reaction. Oh no, they'll retire. See, Mandy, I
Hey, you've been
fooled
doing it long
Mandy.
enough. You've earned the right to retire if that's what you want to do.
I really think so.
All
Anyway,
right, let me start with um, Blake, what Blake was talking about earlier
all
about the
right.
stock market, because the stock market, the things I'm most keyed into are the stock market and Bitcoin.
Okay.
Um, and anyways, back what Blake said about 4,800, that is key. Three
Yeah,
months
of
ago,
course.
my forecast, which is laid right out here on the screen, and although I thought the 17th of April would be the low based on Gann's law of vibration, it like the market likes to do, it came early, uh, and we bottomed down here on April 7th. But if you look at where my key change in trend date was the 17th. We had one more day down, and we've been going up since then. Um, I believe,
New all time high, Scott. Will you go out on a
yep,
limb if you
I
believe
believe
that's
it
a
will be.
four?
We're going to all-time highs. There's too many bears. Um, if you
You
look
know, I
at it
was
from an
thinking.
Elliott wave standpoint, January 4th of 2022 was the top of wave one, and an Elliott wave fours like to go back and kiss wave one before they take off again in wave five. I believe we're in wave five. This is going to be, you're going to hear the rally that everybody hates again is coming.
There won't
And,
be euphoria.
that's a hard thing to judge. It could very well be. One of the
Because
things that I just,
there really wasn't at the last high. You're pretty good with. I mean, you do work with time because your work is Gann. Um, so for us to get to new highs, you think we're there by August?
we could potentially be there by the end of May. Um,
Okay.
but again, this is a market that I think's going to go up into 2026. I think I got the
Oh,
date
it's got
pinned, but
legs
I'm
like that, huh? Okay.
well, I think we
Uh,
could be 7,500 to maybe 8,000
yeah.
before this is done. And everybody's going to be shaking their head. Oh, this is bullshit,
Well,
you
I
know.
thought I was thinking 7,200 by August, and it sounds crazy.
Well, it's very possible. Like you say, time is prices. The thing about prices, there's between Fibonacci extensions and all these other things, there's always many numbers you can look at. Time is, and
Okay.
that's why time is, in my opinion,
So,
more important.
so the guy's looking, saying that what we're doing right now is a four, and there's a five to come to 45 and a half. They're going to be watching it all the way up.
Well, I think four is over. I think four bottomed on August or
Yeah.
April
But
2nd.
you've seen those counts. I mean, they're pretty prevalent. Yeah,
Everybody and their
don't get
brothers
sucked
bears,
in.
Dale.
y- Yeah, don't get sucked into this is a sucker rally. It's a weak bounce. Don't buy it, or it's going to get crushed again.
Well,
That's a narrative
um,
out there.
I do my own thing. I have time. I also have an astrological cycle that we're in, and I it's not over yet, and we're going to keep going. And so between all these things and 52 years of experience, and you put them all together, and sometimes you get right.
Yep.
So um, I did a thing the other day on Tesla in terms of I did some astro stuff on it, which is blowing my mind. This is kind of a why we could see Tesla in the next month go to near 500. It could double here. Um, you wouldn't think it looking at what's happened with their earnings, but the market has a way of deceiving everyone. So, but let's get back to the main
So,
piece. So,
so
anyway,
is it now? And I think you believe this. Weak dollar, weak stocks. Strong dollar, strong stocks.
well, I tend to think that the money flows where it's going to go, and so I don't. That's I'll tell you a correlation that I found here that I think I like better than anything else is Bitcoin. The market and the Bitcoin seem to be
Yeah,
synced, and
yeah, they
so
do.
and it's a sometimes it leads and sometimes it lags, but they generally move together. And so and that's another reason why I've been following it because my equity stuff has my best work in terms of timing. And if you look at my chart, I 4 months ago, I'm saying, hey, we're going to 4820 in the S&P, and we made a nice five-way move down. It came early, the bastards, but that's the market, and that's fine because it hit price pretty much right at 48.32 is a number in the futures that has been pretty strong. So I think the bottom's in. We're going to have a raging, and it's the small. You want to buy Russell here, the Russell type stuff here,
Yeah,
because
I saw an interesting tweet by this guy who actually said micro caps have been outperforming all the, legacy indices, and they've been crushed during this bull market, micro cap.
and the last thing that
So
always goes in wave five is
yeah,
the
right.
small
So we're
stocks.
going to get. So really, you buy the most speculative things for this wave.
That makes sense because you might see the Magnificent Seven, you know, stumble, and some of them
Yeah,
do better than others. But
that's
there's,
yesterday. That's
yeah,
yesterday.
there you go.
So, maybe commodity related small stocks, maybe semi small stocks. You like the semis because I know a guy who always thought that they should lead, and they haven't made a high since almost a year and a half ago, in July. They didn't really participate in that bull move.
Well, the tech may get dragged up in the wave five only because there's a lot of institutions that it's like
Yeah. How
it's a
about oil shares?
don't haven't been following oil. I think that's an economic thing, and it's just I found many years ago that you can't. It's real easy to spread yourself too thin
Okay.
in markets. I mean, people say, "What do you think about metals?" Well, I don't follow metals, but to me, they look. I mean, just glancing at them, it looks to me like gold's overdone, and but money flows in and out of things, and so the real key is where is it going to go next? And I use the timing things that I use for
Okay.
equities. The equities has like 4,000 things you can buy and sell. So I don't
Yeah.
need to go too far outside that
Okay.
bag in
So
order
if you
to.
were flat right now and you had cash to allocate, would you be waiting for some type of pullback here or just launch?
No, I think it's going now.
Yeah.
I think we'll be at 5,500 today. That's a key level. That's in the ES. I do most of my forecasting with the ES. So I'm looking for higher, and it may start off slow, and then that's fine. But I think Bitcoin's going to go higher. I think the metals are pretty much, they've had their run. And so that's fine. So it's time to move on. What else am I looking at here?
So
Equities,
what do you have price targets in Bitcoin like 125 or so?
I don't do,
And time?
my my philosophy is this, and I've been around a long time, but the longer you try to make a forecast, the more likely it is to be wrong. So I believe there's a large amount of money that's in the markets that moves in what I call segments. In other words, they're buying like they bought that low and they ran it up and then they took their profits and they got out. Now they're looking to get back in again. I look at these 3 to 8, 10 day moves, and I think there's an awful lot of money there. And part of the reason it is it's just a basic philosophy is that bias kills. And so once you get biased, it's hard to get that out of your subconscious. And it leads to mistakes. So I look for nice little setups that I can, I trade options. And so you can make, I mean, I bought some options in the ES last night. That I think today I could make 10 times my money on them. So if we go to 5,500, that's going to happen for me. And I don't have, haven't bet the farm on it, but I got a nice little chunk in it. So um, those are the kind of things that, and I wait for these, and I have my change in trend dates, which is the law of vibration, which I've been using a lot. And it has, when it lines up, when the change in trend dates lined up with the technicals, like kind of the things that you see on the bottom of my chart there.
Well, you have
Simple.
one due tomorrow.
Well, I have actually, no, it's today actually. And I
I
think
see
probably what will happen is,
425.
yeah, no, well, it's wrong. It's supposed to be today. The
Okay.
CIT is for today.
Okay.
And I think probably what we're going to do is we'll run up and we'll probably hit that 5,500 area where the tops were back here on that magenta trend line. And then we'll get a pause for a little bit. And the next one, I'll give you the next dates are, what you do with my glasses, Dale? Yeah. We've got 424, then May 1st, May 7th, May 13th,
Well, in May.
May 20th. That's I've got Tesla for whatever reason. Looks like it should make a major change in its trend or a good trade on the 23rd of May. So that may turn out to be a high there. If the Astro is right, it should be a high, and we should hit very close to 500. Probably just fall a little bit short of it, but so
Where's it
I'm
trading now?
I'm just talking about the Tesla.
Yeah,
Um,
where's it trading now, Tesla?
well, that's a good question. 252.
Well, you're talking about a double in a month.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to believe, but anyhow,
Okay.
that's we'll see. Again, that's the problem with price. Um, that's a big time factor. So if it rallies up into that point, I'll sell my calls and I'll look for a short.
How
Um,
about big macro dates ahead? I mean, those are a lot of dates for trading. Do you have any dates that are
well,
big for
actually, that's what I'm
like
going
you
to do is,
did for wave four lows? You had
well, I think we're
price.
just up until we hit the high. We'll probably make a 5 wave rally up until the spring of 2026.
Okay.
And I do have the date, but that's kind of reserved for my customers. So um,
Okay.
we have a
So
long way. We have a long way to run up. Let's put it that way.
okay.
And like you said, it could be 72. It could be 76. It could be 8. I don't know. When we get there and the waves are complete, and the time lines up with a good change in trend date, and some other astro stuff, then we'll make a top.
And
But
you're wrong under 4,800.
exactly, I agree. That was the top of wave one. It was almost textbook. I mean, look at the way that on the ninth how it
No, I know. I had a
exploded out of
megaphone.
there.
I had a megaphone I was showing people last year that had a 4,800 target. I know you saw it.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Um,
so and that was a four, and that we could have a five from there and go to 7,200 in a
could
melt up.
be. I somewhere in that 7,000 to 8,000 range seems
Yeah.
logical.
Okay.
But when we get closer, and I think this weekend I'm going to try to lay out the five waves up for the stock market. I haven't done that yet. I was just getting along in here, and so
And that's a big deal to be because I haven't seen technically the Russell has not really taken over yet leadership. I don't see it on my charts. The spread chart doesn't look like the Russell has bottomed against the S&Ps.
see what
Have
we
they?
got here. Mhm. Oh, that's Tesla.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that Tesla
Tesla.
breakout we had in Tesla there.
Look at that. 500. Yeah.
Beautiful long channel,
Broke out.
broke out right here.
Yeah.
And so we're sticking around here for another day or two, and then it should take off. But back to Russell. Where's my
Nice charts.
RQI?
So for potential clients, how do they reach you if they want to follow your stuff, subscribe to your stuff?
GannTiming.com.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That you got that one. Huh? That's pretty good. You would have thought that would have been gone. There's a
that's
Russell.
what I thought. I couldn't believe when it happened. So here's your
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah.
It's pretty much looks like the rest of the market.
Yeah.
Once things get cooking and it's been chugging up for a while, it'll get stronger and take over. But in the meantime, we're I believe we're going higher, and it's we're basically in 1928 right now. So
Okay. I've heard that before. Okay.
um, we got a
So
ways to
then
go yet.
that's why I thought we might be in 2087 and we'd peak in August. Dollar
I was
going
there.
down,
I watched
yields.
that in my broker at Dean Witter. I watched that whole thing unravel. That was
Yeah.
actually a wonderful time for me. I made $70,000 in treasury bond calls during that crash.
Yeah. 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 That's when bonds, that's your daddy's bond market. When
Well,
there was
that's
risk
when,
off and they exploded.
exactly. And that's exactly what happened. I
Do you
went
think
from,
the bonds are they going to get trashed or are they going to hold together with the market going up? We'll wrap it with that.
I think that they'll be pretty much in unison. I mean, and it won't
Okay.
be the extent of the volatility and moves
All
will
right.
be
So
more.
yields down, market up.
Well, I think Trump's been pushing for that, and I think that's going to happen. And I think that's another reason that if the market's kind of waiting, when they finally come out and this tariff shit gets all done, we're going to have this, this really big rally. And so um, I'm
Gan
I'm
time.
just loading up and sitting back and letting it play out. And the thing that happened yesterday was like in the Russell right here, you made a higher high than
Yeah.
these highs back here. So, and we made a higher low than that. And what's the definition of a trend? An
Yeah.
uptrend is higher lows and higher highs. So
Well,
once
you guys could tell Scott's been doing this for 4 years.
a few,
All right.
a
Oh,
few
I
years.
forgot the zero.
Yeah,
All
more like
right.
this is my 52nd year, Dale.
Wow.
Uh,
You
I'm
make me
almost as
feel
old
so
as you are.
young. You make me feel like dancing. Uh, anyway, it's good to talk
Hey, if
to.
you quit this, you can always go and get to Vegas and do your act.
Yeah, I could do an Elvis impersonator. There's a million things I could
Thank you
do.
very much. Thank you.
But great talking to you, Scott.
All right,
Really.
thanks, Dale.
And we'll have you back in around July. We'll see what's
Well,
happening. We should
you
be
just send me an email and I'll be there.
all right. All right, Scott Yarborough, everyone, and yes, it's Scott is he's that's not his handle, but he is Baby Yoda.
I
Yeah,
don't know how
Baby
that happened.
Yoda, and it's gantiming.com.
Yeah, I was just trying to find it and put this in
So ride the bull with Scotty.
here. It's coming. It's coming. This
Get
is going to
on
be
that
a wonderful time to
get
make money.
get on that bucking bull. See how long you can ride it. Maybe you only have
Yeehaw!
to ride it until August. See what happens here. We get a
One
deal
trade at
which,
a time.
yeah, yeah, and you're only as good as your last one. What have you done
Absolutely.
for me lately, Scott? Huh? Besides call
Well,
the bottom.
I,
Now
I, I, 3 months ago, I said that we would bottom in April, probably the
yeah,
17th.
great call, great call.
So here we are.
Stop copying me, man.
I'm sorry, Dale, but
All
I
right.
thought you
Anyway,
were retiring, and so I better take advantage of it while I
anyway,
can.
I just lurk around your account and come up with my ideas.
I hear you. I know.
Anyway, Scott, great talking to you. I
Thanks,
hope that you
Dale.
have a great run with the market, and we'll
Hey,
talk
look,
this
the
summer.
ES is up on the day. Here we go.
All right, here. So as you can tell, Scott is also very detached, a very detached trader. He doesn't get excited
No,
when
send
things
it.
are going his way or fetal when they're not. So, Scott, go ahead. I could see you swinging your rope over your head right now.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Thanks for sharing your great stuff with us.
You're very welcome, Dale. Thank you, and everybody out there, and have a profitable day.
All right. So that's a wrap, everyone. Don't just count your stock indices, count your blessings. We'll wrap up the week tomorrow. Had a pretty good show today. What do you think? Scott here, the wizard, and of course, our regulars, the dream team. Anyone ever been to a better webinar? Let me know. I want to check out my competition. Anything out there like this? I didn't think so. All right. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow. Adios, and thanks again, Scott.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.